This object was found in Berlin and appears to be missing an exterior housing, along with possibly other components. It's roughly the size of a toaster and made from cast iron and steel. There's no manufacturer name, but the marking H.4.2b is stamped on the side of the frame. It has several moving parts, most notably the numbered wheels, which include days of the week and times of day. Could this have been used for imprinting or stamping dates and times onto documents or packages? What exactly might this device be? That's an International Time Recorder clock, an early mechanical timekeeping device used in workplaces to track employee hours. These were often mounted near entrances, where workers would insert a card and the machine would stamp the time. Built like a tank, they combined clockwork precision with industrial durability, and many were made in the early 20th century before ITR eventually became part of IBM. It was found ticking away in the corners of a museum, small analog devices quietly at work, possibly related to humidity or climate monitoring, though it seems unusual they are not digital in such a setting. Does anyone recognize these or know exactly what they're used for and why analog might still be preferred? This device is a temperature and humidity chart recorder, a long-standing tool used to track environmental conditions over time. Although once a standard in many industries, it has largely been replaced by digital and wireless data loggers. While chart recorders can be quite accurate, they have limitations. Data resolution is restricted by the physical space on the chart, often circular, so fitting longer time periods means sacrificing detail. Another limitation is hysteresis, where the recorder lags behind actual changes in temperature or humidity. Pen mechanics can also affect accuracy, with tip width and ink bleeding, especially in high humidity, impacting readability. The paper used is often device-specific, and different types can absorb ink differently, influencing results. These devices are also sensitive to vibrations, which may cause the pen to skip or wobble, introducing false readings. Perhaps most critically, they are passive monitors, unable to send alerts in real time, meaning issues may go unnoticed until after the fact. Despite these drawbacks, chart recorders still offer a tangible, easy-to-read log, especially useful in situations where digital devices are impractical. This object was found in a thrift store and reads OBIMY Motor Oil, NV Soest, Holland. It's small and metal, possibly brass, and might resemble a vintage lighter in appearance. The branding suggests it's a promotional item from a Dutch motor oil company, possibly mid-20th century. Is this a vintage promotional lighter? And if so, how was it operated? It's a lighter. The flip bar serves as a cover for the wick when not in use, helping to prevent the fuel from evaporating too quickly. To operate it, you'd raise the flip arm, then flick the textured wheel with your thumb, just like a typical lighter, to generate a spark. What's puzzling here is the flint. Usually, the wheel strikes against a piece of flint to create that spark, but in this design, the exact location for the flint isn't obvious. One would normally expect it to be positioned between the wick housing and the wheel, but there doesn't appear to be a dedicated slot or channel for it. That's the little mystery with this one, figuring out exactly where the flint fits into the mechanism. It was found in an old barn made of cast iron, slightly curved along its length. The markings read number. 2R positioned above a keystone symbol containing either the letter B or the number 9, and Pat December 21st, 1896. There is a round hole beneath the tail end. Aside from the curve, its shape suggests it might have fit over a piece of railroad track. What could this have been used for? It's a rack for oil well jacks, a mechanical tool used in early oil drilling operations. Its main purpose was to securely grip and rotate the drill rod using a pair of wrenches mounted on a curved rack. This allowed operators to turn the rod incrementally and more efficiently, while also reducing floor wear and mechanical strain during drilling. It's a clever piece of old-school oilfield engineering. It was found at a thrift store and the seller did not know what it was. Appears to be some kind of disc reader but not clearly labeled or marked. What is this device and what was it originally used for? That's a floppy disk duplicator, built to crank out copies doing about 100 disks an hour, give or take. What's wild is this kind of machine likely cost over $1,000 back in the mid-90s, probably top of the line for IT departments or software distributors. And now? You could probably find one gathering dust somewhere going for next to nothing. An elderly acquaintance gave us some tools and random hardware from her late husband. Tucked inside an old Sanborn coffee can was a surprisingly well-preserved, baseball-sized electric motor with 6 braided wires and brass terminals. Maybe it once powered something important, maybe it was part of a project he never got to finish. Any idea what this is made for? It's a vintage Kendrick and Davis electric reversible motor. This one appears to be battery-powered, judging by the open or exposed electrical connections and the cotton-covered wire, which were common in early 20th century electrical toys. The round head set screw on the gear is typical of the Gilbert Erector set, further suggesting its origin. These motors were used to power miniature machines, cranes, or cars built from the erector parts, allowing kids to bring their mechanical creations to life. It was found in the Netherlands. A black plastic object about 4.5 inches long with a sharp metal needle inside. There are no markings, numbers, or letters anywhere on it. The needle can be unscrewed and removed, and while it's solid, not hollow, the non-sharp end has a hole, possibly for mounting or securing it somewhere. The needle resembles a long pin needle, and when assembled, the tip sticks out from the top, suggesting it was meant to serve a specific function. Does anyone know what this could be used for? Maybe some kind of precision tool, medical component, or something else entirely? That is a needle probe for a voltmeter. It's designed to pierce the insulation on a wire, allowing for voltage readings without needing to strip the wire. Back in the late 1960s to early 1970s, there were even self-piercing versions. You'd clamp them on, and with each squeeze or adjustment over time, they'd dig in a little deeper. It was found in a pile of old tools, a metal object with small bells enclosed in each of its openings. It weighs around a pound and is magnetic, likely made of steel. The whole thing is about 18 inches. Any ideas what this could be? That's an elephant goad, a traditional tool used by mahouts to guide and control elephants. It typically features a pointed tip or hook, which could be used to prod or redirect the elephant, especially in critical situations. If an elephant charged toward people, the goad could be used on the head or sensitive areas to prevent harm to bystanders or the rider. Though effective, the use of such tools is now often debated due to animal welfare concerns. This item was found at a flea market in Belleville, Illinois. The seller didn't know what it was. One side of the handle is marked Brev, the other side N686, and the bottom reads B95. Despite having a sticker price, it was purchased for just $1. Any idea what this mystery object might be? What was it used for, and what do those markings mean? It's used to make imprints on bread or roll dough after it has risen but before baking. I have a similar tool made of cast aluminum, which is used for Kaiser rolls. The imprint is made to create a specific design or texture, giving the rolls a unique look before they go into the oven. This item was found in a factory, in an old desk, and no one knows what it could be. It consists of independently rotating stainless steel wedges, each marked with the letters A, B, or C. The device is 3.5 inches in diameter, with numbers on both sides of each wedge. One side is red, and the other is black. There are no units listed, nor any brand or serial number. It resembles a Roebling device, but doesn't seem to match exactly, and it has multiple rotating plates. What could this device be used for, and what do the markings and rotating plates indicate? This is an ABB positioner cam direct acting device. It is typically used in industrial automation for controlling the positioning of valves or other mechanisms in response to a signal. The device works by converting a control signal into a precise mechanical position, ensuring that equipment operates accurately and efficiently within specified parameters. It's commonly found in applications involving process control, particularly in industries such as oil and gas, water treatment, and chemical manufacturing. This is an iron tool, possibly cast or hand-forged, found in an antique store in Maine over 40 years ago. It's not a one-off and was mounted on a pole, length unknown. When pressure is placed on the end of the post at A, the latch at B raises up, causing the two hooks at C to fold backward and to the side. The red line shows where a small heavy spring was originally attached. The spring would have caused the latch mechanism to close again after the hooks were released and pressure was removed from post A. This suggests the tool was used to hold something with the hooks, manipulate or position it, then release the item by pushing it forward against a hard surface. What could this tool have been used for? It's a fruit picker from the 19th or early 20th century, likely used in orchards. This tool was designed to help pick fruit from trees, often featuring a long handle for reaching higher branches. It would typically include a mechanism to collect the fruit without causing damage, which was essential for efficient harvesting before modern equipment was available. They were found in an old garage, a pair of iron-articulated tools, each weighing about 3 pounds and roughly a foot long at the longest arm. There's no writing or identifying information on them. These tools articulate or open to a 90-degree angle and seem to lock in place as part of their design. There's no spring tension or resistance. They move freely into position and stay there. What are these iron tools used for, and what kind of work might they have been designed for? Those are timber dogs. Tools used in timber framing or for holding and manipulating logs in a sawmill. Unlike the adjustable bolted ones you'll often see on modern portable sawmills, these look like they came from an earlier time, probably used in a setting where bolts were few and everything had to be quick and rugged. Log dogs come in all shapes and sizes, not just the familiar staple form. These were likely hammered into place to hold logs steady while they were being worked, cut, or milled. Simple, effective, and built to last. This curious little wooden piece was found on an Edison B80 phonograph, a crank-powered machine from around 1914. It's a small wooden item with a hole in the top and a pole sticking out that ends in a ball, though the ball turned out to be pointed once removed. The whole thing is mounted beside the tone arm, but it doesn't interact with it or the mechanics of the player at all. It rotates in place but doesn't seem to tighten or loosen anything, and it's not wired or connected to anything inside the phonograph. Entirely mechanical. Given that it was fastened with a single screw and sits flush with the decorative grill, it raises the question, what purpose did this mysterious spinning wooden part with a pointed tip serve on a 1914 Edison B80 phonograph? Decoration, user modification, or a forgotten feature? It's likely a tool for repointing or reshaping the stylus on a diamond disc phonograph, unlike standard Victor-type 78 players that use steel needles meant to be changed after each play. Edison diamond disc players used permanent styluses, often made of diamond or sapphire. However, some early or off-brand versions may have had semi-permanent metal needles that needed occasional sharpening to maintain sound quality and avoid damage to records. This tool may function similarly to a pencil sharpener. Insert the needle and twist to reshape the tip. Back in the day, styluses sometimes came in paper packets of 50 to 100 and were meant to be replaced frequently, but tools like this were used to get a little more life out of each one.